Just wanted to let you know we took that video down last time because I wasn't feeling very well that night, and I kept coughing. I have been coughing, but obviously I'm feeling better than I was that night. So that was the reason why we took the video down and wait till I was a little bit better. So I'm here to join you tonight, and we'll just wait for a few of you to join before we get things started.
Yeah, just waiting for a few people to join. As people joining will know, we're planning on doing this on a regular basis we done it last week, week 1. And then, yeah, so we wanted to do it for 6 weeks. Yeah, so hopefully all goes well.
Well, I hope so, yeah.
We've got some people joining now.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Says hello, and Jill says hi. Eddie says hi there, Elaine and Jonathan.
Hi, thanks for joining. Putting your time aside, and we hope you enjoy it tonight.
Yeah, we'll give it a little while for people to join. If anyone wants to ask a question in the meantime, bear in mind that Jonathan will be better answering a lot of your questions. Now we'll just give it a little while longer.
Yeah.
In the meantime, our last event of the year is in Stafford. What date is that, Lucy?
Saturday the 30th of November.
Yeah, 30th of November.
Yeah, that's at Stafford Spiritualist Church.
Stafford Spiritualist Church, yeah. You'd need to get in touch with them for the tickets.
I will be sharing their poster and the information later on this week as well, so people can look out for that on the Facebook and Instagram.
Dorothy asked, are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm still coughing. I don't feel ill as such. I just feel I'm coughing, the cough seems to be lingering. I'm doing all I can to get rid of it. Cough medicine, cough sweets, honey, everything else. So there's not a lot else you can do, So just got to try and keep healthy and keep well.
Yeah, so the plan for tonight is to take your questions. If you could avoid asking personal questions, because it doesn't really work with trance mediumship through this way through YouTube. It's not really a connection like that. That is better through other ways. But tonight we'll just ask you take your spiritual questions. Once Elaine goes into trance, we'll be able to do that. Softy said you need some more of my honey, Elaine.
Oh yeah, I loved your honey. It was divine, beautiful honey. I should have been a honey taster. I've got every kind of honey. I've got artisan fir honey, from the pine trees or whatever they are. That's nice. It's a little bit rigid honey, but it's nice. I do like the runny one for sore throats and coughs though. And heather honey, Jonathan suggested. So Scottish heather honey. I absolutely love the stuff. It's nectar to me.
Lisa asked, Elaine, did you find it hard to trust at first with trance mediumship?
Well, over many years actually, on and off, I found it hard to trust. I quite often question what they said, or is it me thinking it? Is that sort of thing, because obviously they're blending with your consciousness, so your ego's bound to think and doubt sometimes. It's only natural. But mostly I've started, learning to trust now and letting go. It's all you can do, really.
Rosa from Denmark asked, is there negative guides?
No, I don't think so. No, not a negative guide. You wouldn't have a negative guide. I mean, there are negative souls, obviously, but there's not negative guides. They're there to love you and protect you and look after you. Obviously, they can't live our lives for us, and we've already made the plan for the journey, but they're there to guide us through it.
Steve asked, is time the same for Jonathan as it is for us?
Oh no, they don't have time. They're in the present moment all the time, he said. They know that when we're going to gather together and do this sort of thing, but they don't have time as such. They don't have watches and clocks in heaven. They just know that they see our light, and they hear that we've asked them to join us, and they come and join us. They must know that we're going to gather together, so they prepare themselves. But they don't have time where they are, no.
Okay. Just before we go start, then, just a reminder: if you could avoid personal questions and ask more spiritual questions, or of that nature, and yeah, we'll try and get to as many questions as we can. If we don't get to your question, please don't feel offended, and also you're welcome to ask it again because we might not have seen it. So whenever you're ready, I think we can start. There's quite a few people joined already.
Yeah. So I'm going to get started, and well, as I always say, see you on the other side. Okay, and enjoy yourselves, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
I am happy to join you.
We're just taking questions from people tonight, if that's okay with you.
That is absolutely fine. Thank you.
The first one from John Anthony. How does one pray effectively for something?
Did you say pray, sir?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Well, you set an intention, don't you? And that intention has a passion and intention behind it. And of course, if you are feeling that intention, of course, you feel emotion when you put that prayer out, then it shall be listened to. Of course it will be listened to. You have faith and trust in what you're asking for. What is your desire? Who needs help? We do listen. We do hear your plea. We do hear your prayer. So you are basically setting an intention.
Thank you. Joe has asked, do guides communicate with each other?
Oh, yes, we do communicate together in heaven, all of us. We are all as one in consciousness. So we do communicate with telepathy because we are light beings, you see. And so everything is mind-to-mind connection, which is a form of telepathy. So we do not need a physical voice. We bring a physical voice to you through the medium because that is required in your world. So everything that I'm saying to you is my consciousness. These words are coming out physically from my consciousness, yes, through Elaine's consciousness.
Lisa Fenn asked, Jonathan, is it me or are things regarding the awakening speeding up now?
Yes, they are, very much so. And of course, the negative is coming to the surface and people are facing their fears and all sorts of things are happening. But definitely, I do see that more and more people are connecting to these numbers that they are being given as signs. They are connecting to their dreams very much lucidly. They are connecting to signs that they are being sent from the spirit realm. Yes, of course, very much so. Our connection is becoming very close to you, very much clearer.
Thank you. Wu Jones has asked, how do parallel universes work in regards to multiple versions of ourselves?
Well, of course, you are multifaceted. So you're like a diamond, aren't you, really? A diamond is multifaceted. If you shine it to a different light, you will see a different color from it. You will see a different reflection from it. So all of you are multifaceted. So therefore, when I talk about universes within universes, there are reflections of you in many places. Part of you will remain in the spirit realm, you see. A little spark of you will remain there. And you will have other guides that will speak of that. Should you ask them about it, they will tell you. And that is part of you, part of the makeup of your multifaceted self.
Janet Adams asked, hello, good evening. I have a question about the dinosaurs and animals generally. What happens to the souls of the dinosaurs and domestic animals we love, please?
Well, they sometimes reincarnate much like you do. They have fears that they are to overcome. They have the greater understanding of the afterlife, of course, and they have less fear of it. So one might say they are intelligent beings and they come back many times to this lifetime as you do. They mostly come to show you unconditional love.
Okay, BC asked, does our soul still keep our individuality after we pass?
Well, it's what you call your essence. So your soul is always going to be your soul, whatever body it inhabits. Where it comes to the earth, when it takes on the body, the essence of that being is still there, yes. That is a continuation of it. So the presentation of the life's plan, the life story, how it is going to be played out, is the essence of you.
Shrewsbury Woman has asked, how does healing by the power of intention work, please?
Well, you are setting an empathic intention. And so when you set your mind to it, you ask for the healing to take place, and the energy is going to come through you and go to the recipient. So therefore, again, it's all about intention and intention of giving someone love, which is bringing about the healing. Giving them your love, your empathy, and our love and our empathy.
Lisa asked, hi Jonathan, is law of attraction real?
Well, the universe is part of all and you are within it, so it knows your story. So it will bring you reminders of what you had planned. So you think that you are connecting to it, yes. And the law of attraction is that you are attracting the memory of what your soul had chosen. So it is a desire that you're setting out. but you are subconsciously remembering it, what you had planned. The ego doesn't remember it. It sees it as a sort of a surprise if something comes around that you have set out as an intention to the universe. So therefore it is reminding you of what you had chosen. But you just forgot it because you came here with amnesia for the greater purpose.
Okay, Jill asked, do I have a choice not to come back? She said, I'm staying in heaven.
You do have a choice. Your soul knows best. I would say that, 8 out of 10 souls come back. Some stay, some come back because they have a purpose to complete. And they're not, they're going to keep coming back until it is completed, but you don't keep coming back here forever. So if your soul really has a choice to stay there, yes, you will stay there. It is depending. You may change your mind when you are in the spirit world. You don't always see it from that point of view there as the way that you would see it here.
Yuhara asked, do we go to different planets or zones upon death?
We can travel all around the universe, yes. You can be anywhere and everywhere you can bilocate. So if you wanted to look around the universe, you could do. Yes.
Feng Shui Awakening asked, how does our essence and our genetic information interact? That's from Karen, sorry.
Would you say that again, sir? Do forgive me.
How does our essence and our genetic information interact?
Well, genetics are, part of this, the makeup of the bodily DNA and things, aren't they? And one might say you actually take on similar characteristics in the way that you look from the previous life, in every life. You see, you take on these similar characteristics. You may look similar to what you looked in the previous life, but there will be a difference because you are a different subject at a different lifetime. And people say, well, you haven't changed much. You won't change much in the way that you look. You will either be male or female, of course, but you will have those similar characteristics in each and every lifetime. So the genetics is an earthly cellular makeup of the body that it gets from its ancestrals or the parents, the immediate parents and the surrounding family members, that you pick up similarities because you are of their blood, you see. You are of their makeup. But having said that, you will also have traits from other family members that are connected to your parentage from both sides. So you may say, well, I take after the grandmother or the grandfather, you see. So all of these come into being, that they are the ego and the physicality of things rather than the essence of the soul.
Thank you. Janet has asked, Jonathan, can we be with a soulmate when we pass, even if we were married to someone else here on Earth?
Oh yes, because you are all as one, there is no separation. And they understand that you have had different trimesters in your life of meeting different people and loving different people. It would be very selfish to just love one person in this life, wouldn't it? We don't see it as a judgment. We're not here to judge. But it would be unusual for you to just love one person. You will love many people in your life, in your surroundings, your family, your friends, your pets. And so you share your love about, and they share their love with you. So therefore, you will love many in life. And so when you go to the heavens and you say, well, I was married to that person, but I was also with this person, you still love them. You still unite with them because they were part of your story and you were part of theirs.
Lisa Woodhouse asked, I work with children with special needs, some autistic and some nonverbal, who appear to be in another realm at times. Is that how they may be?
Well, yes, they are old souls that have chosen to go through this. And one might say, well, why would they? But, they have empathy, they have unconditional love, and they are very special, unique people. And one might say they do have connections to the other realms as much as you would do, but they take more note of it than what you do. So they are perhaps lesser of ego, although they have an ego, but they are able to see things much like yourself, yes.
Thank you. VC has asked, does our soul still keep our individuality after we pass?
Oh yes, that I think that I have answered that question. That the essence is always going to be the essence of you, the uniqueness of you. You see, although you are all as one in consciousness or in the spirit realm, and you are united and connected in that consciousness, you still have this uniqueness about you. So yes, you keep that. Yes, in each and every lifetime.
Melody's review asked, are we able to visit others when we are gone? Would we be able to focus as spirits enough to visit loved ones?
Yes. You know, we are only a thought away. So should that being on the earth think about you, you could be with them instantly. You would know that they were thinking of you. And if you thought of them, then you could go straight to them. You could visit several of your family members all at once. You could be in several different places because you have no limitation of the physicality. So therefore, bilocation comes into it. And you could visit all of them at once because you're multifaceted.
Vicky was asking a question. If you could expand on the choice of, she's asking about a child passing away. Why would she choose that?
Well, you will go through many emotions, be it negative or positive in this life. And that little child may be a very, very old soul that has only chosen a very brief moment to touch the earth. And to perhaps you were wanting to experience the emotion, what it felt like. You wouldn't understand it from your point of view at the moment. You would see it as a very sad thing, and it is. But of course, the soul knows better that it chose to experience that, and it chose to give that being that very much a gentle touch to the earth and go back again, you see. I hope that helps you.
Thank you. Maria has asked, hi Jonathan, when you are not with Elaine, what do you do in the spirit world?
Well, I'm always around her because she needs me, because I am her guide, and you need your guides. But of course, you live your lives, and of course, if we think of where we want to be, I will usually go to a sunset beach with my horse Beauty, and I will gallop with her across a sunset beach. Seeing as I lived the city life, we didn't have any beaches, so therefore I visit the beaches in my consciousness.
Joe asked, whilst Elaine is channeling you, what is your experience in the physical body?
It is quite heavy and densified energy, but I have become accustomed to it. And of course, all of your guides that do it this way will become accustomed to it, will understand it. But it is much heavier and densified. Your Earth's energy is very heavy. So, of course, we will have to adapt to that.
Thank you. Elsie has asked, how do we assist non-believers to connect with God?
Well, you cannot force them, of course. You can only advise them or guide them, and if they choose to go that direction, then they will. If not, there is nothing that you can do about it, my dear, but you can give them advice. That is all you can do. Whatever they choose is whatever they're going to go to.
Janet asked, can you please explain meditation?
Meditation. There are no rules to meditation. There are many different ways to meditate. There is transcendental meditation. There is closing your eyes and relaxing your mind meditation. And the Tibetans would meditate for many hours at a time. But of course, it is freedom of the mind, you see. It is quietening of the mind. And that is all is needed. You don't need to sit in the lotus position if you don't choose to. You don't need to levitate if you don't choose to. And of course, that would probably take many years of practice in order for that to happen anyway. And it is not particularly needed. So one might say it is just quietening your mind and alleviating yourself of the daily stresses and strains. Some people come to me and they say, well, I find it difficult to meditate because I have a busy mind. Just let your mind do what it wants to do, and eventually it will take you on a journey.
Nisaga asked, when you're seeing repeating numbers messages from our guide, how do we interpret it?
Well, 1111 is the best one, because when it comes to 1111, make your wishes for your life in a good way, because then it is answered, you see. You connect to the all with 1111, because that is meaning that there is no end, no beginning. There is only eternal. And one might say that whatever you put out is what you get back, isn't it? But there are other meanings of changes in your life, or you are on the right path in your life. They will give you many descriptions. If you look them up on your internet, you will find many descriptions of what the meanings of those numbers are. So they are basically synchronicity.
DM asked, how can we connect with our spirit guides?
Well, you can ask them to send you signs. You can meditate and ask them to draw close to you. Those sort of things. Talk to them and ask them to send you these signs so that you may trust that it is happening. That is my advice.
Thank you. John has asked, hi Jonathan, is a robin from spirit to help you? Thanks.
Yes, they send many signs. They send feathers, butterflies, birds, music, signs on walls, all sorts of things. You will turn your head and see a sign from the spirit world, but the robin is most purported, isn't it? Because it is a beautiful bird.
Destination Unknown asked, can you lose your spirit guides? Can they choose not to work with you?
No, they will never ever desert you because they are assigned to you, as are your guardian angels. The guardian angels are light beings. They don't have physical lives. But the spirit guides have had physical lives and they will never ever give up on you. Once they are assigned to you, they will stay with you for the rest of your life.
Il Smile asked, is there a hell?
Not necessarily a hell, because I said to Elaine that hell doesn't exist. What I would say is there are lower realms that the souls choose to go into, and they're not very pleasant, of course, one might say. It depends on what sort of thoughts you are taking with you to the spirit world. And sometimes people pass in certain traumatic conditions. They find themselves in dark places, but eventually they will come to light should they choose to be there. They call out and they will be immediately taken into the light. But some of these beings that go into the lower realms will reincarnate fairly quickly, and they will keep coming back to this world until they become perhaps a more empathic person.
Bruce from New York asked, is the other side just as real as this side, the way it feels?
Yes, it's not so much physical, it is ethereal. So you see, if you touch something and you chose to feel it as a physicality, you would. But you could put your hand straight through something. You see, if you're coming into the physical world, you can put it straight through something. But of course, we don't have the physicality for that. But we have thought processing where we can use our energy to open a door if we have enough manifested energy in order to do so. But in our world, everything is ethereal, everything is thought. So therefore, your present moment of your thought becomes your reality, and that can dissipate at any moment. But there are places in the heavens that have been there as everyone's thought of an energy they had built up over centuries and millenniums. And of course, those would be the ones in the halls of learning that most know about, and they have manifested that energy to stay there for many millenniums.
Thank you. Shrewsbury Woman has asked, how do we heal Earth?
How do you heal Earth? You know, the Earth is always going to be changing, my dear. Never stop for anyone. You change, you go into different trimesters of life, you shed your skin, so to speak, not literally, of course, yes. But of course, you reveal your greater self as time goes on, don't you, through each lifetime. And one might say, so does the Earth do that. The Earth does that. It reveals a new self. It is peeling away the layers of itself because the Earth, Mother Earth, has a soul. And of course, Mother Earth loves you. And for you to take care of the Earth is to look after things. not to throw your litter everywhere, to keep it clean for your wildlife, because so that they don't become damaged or hurt. Because that is their home, you see. So take good care of it. Respect your earth. Be kind to it.
Lenny asked, "Hi Jonathan, can you provide any insights on tarots?"
On tarot cards, is that right?
Tarot, yeah.
Yes, it doesn't matter what you call it, but I would say everyone interprets the same pack of tarot cards as some different message. They've all got their way of interpreting what can be a symbolic message from the images that you see on the tarot cards, you see. So one person may read the same pack of tarot cards totally different to what you would read them, because they interpret the message symbolically. So they're quite often symbolic messages. And trying to learn how to interpret those messages in your own way requires trust. And whatever you are getting from these messages, these signs that are there, these images, is what is to be. So trust in it. Trust in the message, of the symbolic message that you are receiving from it.
Thank you. Tameka has asked, can your spiritual guides change during your lifetime?
You will always have the main spirit guide with you for the entirety of your existence here. But there will be other beings that are helpers, that have been with you in previous life existences, that will come along and help you. And perhaps they will come in for a period of time and then step back and come back in again, you see, and give others a chance. So therefore, they're all with you.
Sheridan Lester asked, "Is there such thing as evil souls?"
Well, it is their ego behavioral pattern that counts, isn't it? So some of the souls that have passed in traumatic situations and have taken anger across with them may depict that anger back to your earth, you see, because they haven't let it go. They have chosen it, because the soul has free will. So therefore has chosen to take this emotional anger across with them, and sort of stays between worlds, doesn't it? So therefore they usually need help to move on. They say, well, no, that's a lot of nonsense. Everyone goes to heaven, but there are souls that do hang back, and they do need help to go across sometimes. Some are reluctant, best left alone, but they will do it in their own time. It's all real. It's all the truth.
Thank you. Matt has asked, hello, Jonathan, are we forced to reincarnate?
No, you're not. It is the soul's free will. You have free will. You think that the human has the free will, but the human is the overcoat for the soul to make its journey in. It's definitely the soul. So if you were to go to a medium, or again to a tarot card reader, they would say, well, this, that, and this is going to happen in your future. And one might say, well, if we haven't lived the future yet, how can that be then? Well, that is the absolute truth, that the soul chooses the journey. And that is the absolute scientific proof that when these things come about, that these mediums have spoken to you about, then they're telling you of your life's plan. And so therefore that explains the absolute reality that you've chosen this journey. And this being that you are in is your overcoat. So this being doesn't make the decisions, the soul does. Does that answer his question?
One moment, Jonathan. I think we've lost a little bit of sound. If you could give me...
Have we lost the sound from Elaine?
Yeah.
I'll clip it onto your mum.
Yeah. If everyone give us 1 moment.
Perhaps you can hear me.
Yeah, it's very faint though, so we're just going to turn the sound clear.
I'm just going to touch Elaine, Jonathan, just to pop the mic on.
That's
Just
fine.
there.
Thank you.
Okay.
That is fine.
There you go. Hopefully that's better for everybody.
Thank you. And if they can say whether or not they can hear me, then that will be fine.
Is the sound much better now?
Yes, perhaps it is. If they could let you know, then see how we get along.
Yeah, right. We'll get back to the questions then. Susan asked, "Hello, why do I sometimes become very emotional when I sit in a spiritual circle?"
You are an empath, and you are picking up on their emotions. And sometimes you are receiving healing, so you are letting go of your own emotions. So there is a mixture of the two, isn't there? You are feeling the love also from the spirit realm, the spirits, the souls that come to you. They are giving you love, and you are feeling it, and it is making you feel joyful but emotional. So you're feeling the emotion of that love too.
Jared asked, "Who are the aliens?"
A lot of people ask me about aliens and see them as many people with grey eyes and scary looking faces. But of course, you are not the only ones in the universe. I explained it to you many a time that you could not possibly be the only ones in the existence of this universe. It is reality that there are other beings in other worlds, in parts of this universe that you will probably never discover because you haven't got the technology to take it that far. And maybe one day you will, but of course not yet. And you are getting there. But there are other beings, and they are able to visit your planet because they have the technology there to do so, whereas you don't. They have different forms of aviation. And some of these things that you experience are not particularly real. You know, they can make things up. But I would say that these outer beings, they don't particularly have any intention to hurt you. And of course, they could not possibly stay here for too long because of the atmosphere here. They have a different atmosphere on their planet as to what you have on yours. So they